Hi, my name's Steve Munkley and I'm the ambassador for the Grande Cuisine training platform. Today we're doing another of the videos in the soup range and I'm going to be showing you how to make French onion soup. Probably one of my favourites and very, very simple to make. What you need for it is some sliced onions, some brown stock, some wine, there's some chopped garlic in there, and then for the finishing is the croutons made with the French bread, and there's a mixture of Parmesan and Gruyere cheese in there, which I'll show you a little bit later how to make the croutons. Just going to show you finally how to finely shred the onion. So we have half a peeled onion here. I'm taking the root end out because the root end is what holds the onion together. And then again, using the rocking mechanism, I'm just going through the onion like that. So we're finely slicing it. I've got halfway through. I can feel it wobbling, so I'm going to move it over. It's a lot firmer now, so I can do the same principle again, all the way up until I get to the end. And if you note, there's no fingers in there at all. Right. French onion soup does take quite a lot of onions. Okay, so don't be afraid to start with quite a few. We've got a brown stock here, and we've got some white wine. I like to put white wine in my onion soup. We're going to fry the onions to start with. So we've got a large bottom pan, so that there's a large surface area for the onions to cook in. And on this one, we do want colour. We do want them to be nice and golden brown and nicely caramelised. My go-to oil whenever I'm frying something is rapeseed, which we've got here. So we're putting in a good lug of that. We just let it get slightly warm before we actually add the onions. Traditionally, this is a real hearty, warm soup. There's a lot more onions in it than there is liquid, and very much a favourite of being up the mountains if you're a skier. You can make refined methods of it by pureeing it and doing things, but traditionally, it literally is lovely fried and caramelised onions, the brown stock, which can be beef or veal, and a good glug of white wine. So I can hear the oil is getting hot, so let's go in with the onions. So this stage is going to take a little while they're frying. I'm going to put a lid on it to start with just while they soften up, and then I'll take the lid off so that the frying process does allow them to start to caramelise. But I do mean caramelise and I don't mean go black. So there you go. We'll come back to that in a minute once they've got a little bit of colour on them. Okay, right, now as you can see, we've got a lovely golden colour on the onions. There's a bit of caramelisation on the bottom of the pan there now. So the white wine going in will first of all lift that caramelisation off of there. So we'll just let that deglaze the bottom of the pan, as we call it, which will take that lovely. And already the smell of the wine and the onions is fabulous. And you can see them onions are probably halved, if not more, but they're giving off that lovely golden colour now. So I've got my beef stock here, and I'm just literally glugging that in there. And as I said to you, an onion soup is 90% onion. So all I've done is I've just put enough in there to cover the top of the onions. I'm going to put just a drop more. Okay, I'm just going to let that come back to the boil. What have I done my lid? I'm going to put my lid on, let it come back to the boil. Now while I'm doing that, I'm just going to show you the traditional French onion croutons. So we're using French bread, and they often use the stale bread from the day before to do the croutons. And as I said earlier, traditionally it's a mixture of a Gruyere and Parmesan cheese. You can do this under the salamander, the grill, but I'm going to do it in the oven today. So we've got our croutons. We put a nice generous topping of cheese on there. I'm a great believer in making sure you really get plenty of that taste. And I'm just going to slip that in the oven for it to toast slightly like that. Finish with that, finish with that. So let's have a quick look at our soup. Yes, it's nicely coming to the boil. The onions are pretty much cooked already, so this isn't going to take long now, because the length of time we didn't show you the full cooking process, but them onions were probably frying for a good 20 minutes to soften them up and start the caramelization process. Definitely needs quite a bit of salt, this, and that caramelization happens because all the juices that the onions allow to come out start to caramelize on the bottom, and that's what softens the actual onion itself. Otherwise, if you think about eating a raw onion, it's really crisp and quite bitter, but now these are gone the other way. They're actually quite sweet now. You can see I'm adding quite a bit of salt there. I'm going to add a little bit more wine because I felt that I wasn't quite getting the hint of wine that I wanted to taste coming through. Again, on these videos we don't give you specific recipes, we're really just showing you techniques and how things are done. So again, another taste. Yep, we're definitely getting there. We're here at Cyrus Toddywaller's demonstration kitchen. I'm going to have to tell him to get a better salt grinder. It's a bit slow, but never mind. We're very pleased to be here and very thankful he's allowing us to use it to do these soup videos. The croutons are toasting nicely in there. They'll be ready very shortly, and I'm sure by the time I've got this perfectly right that they'll be ready to come out themselves. Definitely getting there, not quite there yet. Keeping one eye on them croutons. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Okay, the croutons are nearly ready in the oven. The onion soup now is perfectly seasoned and ready. Oh. As you can see, loads of onions in here in this onion soup. So we're going to get a nice big bowl there. We do 2 bowls of this. Always reminds me of my skiing holidays up on a mountain where this comes out of the oven. They actually bake it in the oven up in the mountains. And there we go. The last bit to go onto it is our croutons to go on the top. 2 lovely toasted croutons, and there we have it, a traditional French onion soup. Thank you.